Good morning, good morning, good morning, or good whatever time of day it is for you, wherever you are around the world, or good whatever time of day it is for you if you're watching on replay. Thank you for joining us, or thank you for watching us on replay. And this is the Social Distance Social Club, day 44. And that is a cup of coffee with cream in it. That's very nice. Get yourselves a cup of coffee with cream in it, or a cup of tea, or set yourself down if you've got any. Oh, I need to put the invite on if you've got any questions or any advice, or just want to come on and say hello. Then no, don't just come on and say hello. You got to do something. Yes, questions or advice. Then you're going to click this link, copy that to clipboard. Now we know how this goes. We've done this before. Good morning, Kerry. How are you? Thank you for coming once again. Nice little smiley emoji there. Okay, so to ask a question, offer advice, please click. Boom, there we go. The link is on the chat. There we are. Click on the link if you'd like to join the show, if you'd like to offer advice or ask a question. That's the way it works. It's a video show. I'm afraid I can't get back to any written questions, but generally people will send me a written question in the comments or in a private message afterwards. And I just say, yeah, I'm doing free one-to-one consultations on a live show every day. Feel free to join in and join the social club. Put the social in social club. I'm hoping it's not too windy. The wind's coming from behind me, and I'm hoping that I'm kind of guarding that mic a bit. But we'll just see how that goes. Okay, lovely. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So apologies yesterday. I don't know if you saw yesterday. I ran on and ran off. Very interesting though, because everything was against me to not come on at all, and I thought, no, this isn't the way that I train a horse. So why should I train my internet business that way? So there we are. Windy morning to you all. And so the reason was we had a very big phone call, very important phone call, and that phone call has basically booked us for a very, very big show for the International Cossacks show. It used to be called the International Jigitovka show, but nobody could spell it. That's why I'm wearing my international, oh, that's right, everything's reversed, IEDF, that says IEDF. Oh, look, my own shadows blocked it out. International Equestrian Jigitovka Federation. That is the federation that puts on the Jigitovka World Championships every year in Moscow, except this year, of course. Jigitovka is Russian. What the Russian Cossacks do, a kind of Russian form of tent pegging, sword, lance, revolver, bow and arrow, throwing knife, and gymnastics. You'd have seen that if you've seen the Ukrainian Cossacks or the Russian Cossacks. It's all the same. The Cossacks are one people whose lands stretch across those two countries. So it's just the Cossacks. The Cossacks is the name of the people, and their soldiers, the guys who ride around with the swords and do all the gymnastics and that, are called Jigits. That means soldier, Jigit. An exercise is called Tovka. So, or an art or a discipline, that sort of word, is their Tovka. So the Tovka of the Jigits leads to the Jigit Tovka show. So every year we go and compete with the British Jigitovka team. And while we got talking there, we said, look, the level of gymnastic ability, this is where trick riding started. So trick riding, then some of the Ukrainians and Russians went over to America years and years and years ago. They started showing off their tricks. The Americans picked it up and adapted it to their saddles. That's where you get all this American fiesta trick riding from, and what's become known as trick riding in Europe as well. But it all started off in Russia. The Russians are simply super, and so are the Ukrainians actually. And yeah, it's an absolute honor to compete and train with them. So anyway, we've got this show together, the International Cossacks. I'm going to put it on. Hi Sue, how are you? International Cossacks.co.uk. So the International Cossacks, of course, have had all their shows cancelled this year. I think it was last weekend, or maybe even this weekend, we were supposed to be at Osborne House on the Isle of Wight, which is just a super place, but we're not there. And so we're quite pleased to have got this show, which is going to be in midwinter. So it's going to be a big show. We're going to make something new for it. We've got from now till midwinter to plan it. So we spent yesterday researching and writing to various people to get this show to be the very best that it can be. And between now and midwinter, we're going to be preparing for this show. Obviously, it's very daunting to do a very big, prestigious show, but that will get us out. You can see that we're out this morning. Already preparing one of the horses. We've got a good idea of what we're going to do. So I've been in the props and costume area, digging out the essentials of what we're going to do there. We've been planning our rehearsals, when we're going to rehearse, where we're going to rehearse, and we will steadily, in bite-sized pieces, work towards that. It's going to be a big show, and it doesn't exist at the moment, but it will. And make no mistake, we will be out training and researching and building and prop building and costume making and connecting and networking from now till midwinter. And that's inevitable. Of course we are. Of course we are. It's obvious that we are. Why? Why are we going to go out? Suppose it rains. Do you think we'll go out then? Yes. Suppose it snows sometime in November. Do you think we'll go out then? Of course. Do you think we'll go out when it's dark? Of course. Do you think we'll go out when time's against us? We will make the time. Of course we'll go out. It's just totally obvious. Obviously we're going to go out, and we're going to go out and rehearse the show. Duh. My point is, we're going out and rehearsing these bite sizes because it's daunting, because it's difficult, because that's what it takes, and because why we're doing it is so very, very massive. Massive. And as I say very often in these broadcasts and in my books, if the why is big, the how is easy. How are we going to prepare these props, these costumes, and rehearse the horses and make sure that the show is the best that it's going to be? How are we going to do that? Well, if we hadn't got a why, we probably won't. It'd just remain an idea. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. We should do that with the horses one day. But we have got a why now, and the how is so easy, because what we're going to do is we're going to go out and in bite sizes, train this horse to do that, train this horse to do that, work out how this costume can work, work out how this trick can go, work out how this special effect can work, and practice in tiny little bits. Easy. Anyone could do it. You could do it. But you haven't got the why. And you're not allowed to, because it's my gig. But for your own situation and progress with your horse and all the things that you could do, if the why is big, then the how is easy. But if the why isn't big, if there's no reason that you can think of that you're even wanting to be on a horse in the first place, then the how is extremely difficult, especially if you're surrounded by people with a similar lack of ambition who state their goals as, oh, I just want to be able to ride it without crying. Well, it is a goal. It's just not a very good one. So that, and it's a negative one. So there we go. So working on your goals, working on what you could do. There was a lady on the show not so long ago, 3, 4, maybe 5 days ago, said she just wants to go out on a little hack without feeling scared. And when it came down to it, she accidentally let slip that she'd like to do a little jumping round. There we are. If your goal is to have a horse that's well mannered, so that if ever you have to give up horses, it will go to one home and stay there and be happy ever after, that's also a goal that can pull you forward and make sure that your horse has got good manners, which gets you out in the rain. And how do we do that? That's all very difficult because we'll get wet. Well, it's quite easy. Break it down into bite-sized bits. First thing, go onto the internet, get yourself a nice waterproof jacket. There's a start. Easy. You could do that move if your why is big enough, or your why might be to do a sponsored ride somewhere and raise some money for a charity, or your why might be that you've always wanted to ride with the cowboys in Arizona. That's the why. There we are. Thank you very much for joining us. Sorry no one had any questions or advice while we were waiting, but never mind. I will not be here tomorrow. I will be here on Monday. Thanks for listening.